Estudio Damgo is important for the Philippines because there's so much need here. It gives students the hands-on experience that they are lacking and that they require for their careers. It's giving the community a building that they would never have had before. And it's just raising awareness of good design in the whole community as a whole and in the whole city. Estudio Damgo is changing the way Filipinos think about architecture. It is taking students out of the classroom and getting them into a construction site of their own design.
I want to be an architect who does not only deliver from something out from his mind. I want an architect who delivers also something out from his heart.
Short-term impact of this project is a building that the community can use right off the bat. Probably be using it for lots of community events on top of the daycare and kindergarten instructions that will happen. The long-term impacts will be seen by our college students in their careers. We'll see them getting the experience that they need that is lacking and that they'll be able to implement. And hopefully, in the long run, they'll realize that this type of program is essential for their community.
Ganahan ko sa akong eskwelahan kay daghan ko matatanat ko dako ganahan ko mahimong maestra. Ganahan ko mahimong maestra.
Nasa state of calamity na rin ang Dumaguete City.
Ang bahay ngang ito parang laruan lang na inanod ng tubig hanggang sa tuluyang lamunin ng anod. Ang pinaka nasa pool ng hagupit ng Bagyong Sendong.
Pero ito kasi ang pinakapalawak na pinsala nitong nagdaang Bagyong Sendong.
Foundation University's Department of Architecture students are working with the city of Dumaguete and the residents of the flood survivors to design and construct a new multi-purpose building.
As a student, we want to be innovative, which we want to discover materials. That's why in this project we use a local and native materials, which is bamboo.
We're working with over 100 households from 2 communities, Core Shelter and Caritas One. We held a community workshop to survey the immediate needs for a multi-purpose building. We determined from the workshop that a place for training, education, assembly, and medical services were of the most importance. The residents of this community are rebuilding their lives, not only from the flood disaster, but many come from poor, informal settlements along the Benica River. Estudio Damgo is helping to build their livelihoods with the multipurpose building.
Ako dyan akong pagpasalamat kay kung mag-meeting mi nang naami mga okasyon, dili na nga ulan natin sa Salamat sa Estudio Damgo nga ang among area mo nila napilit nga katindugan sa ilang programs.
Estudio Damgo is doing more than building a building. We're teaching Filipino architecture students a sustainable approach to design, which in turn trains to sustain a community.
This time around, Estudio Damgo and the senior architecture students of Foundation University are now on their third course of shaping the lives of people in our community through sustainable and eco-friendly architecture that's to be built on the water at Barangay Bantayan, Dumaguete.
I believe the response of the students was very positive. They said, well, now we have a real challenge and we need to think outside the box as opposed to being discouraged. The success of it is in its usefulness, not just building a structure to basically gratify oneself.
We wanted to create a structure that can kind of roll on the land, that can float on the water, and that can stay sturdy. And we wanted to create something unique, something that is pragmatic and aesthetically pleasing. This is not just for us, but this is for everybody.
I call it the 3 Ps. Perseverance, right? Persistence and passion. I've witnessed the group, there's 9 of them, and initially 2 teams. They have really come together and are working well together, and they're excited about it. They're being responsive and involving the community.
People say that our project is too ambitious, but we say that we would like to take this as a challenge so that people will know that if you really have the heart to create, there is always a way if there is a will.
Remarkably, it's not just another traditional structure made out of stilts or rigid structural elements fixed to the ground. It's a sophisticated project that floats and will rise on top of the water by the use of native bamboo and recycled plastic drums. Through all walks of life, we depend our substantial needs on the resources we get from the sea. True enough, we're blessed with all kinds of natural resources in our country, yet most of us now just take it for granted. Fishing, for one, has now become a slowly forgotten culture and livelihood among Filipinos. Studies show that among the southeastern seas, including Malaysia and Indonesia, our country, the Philippines, still has the richest marine diversity, has one of the world's longest coastlines, and is known as the center of the world's coral triangle. Yet it is also the most threatened of them all. In response to this challenge, Estudio Damgo has been established to create a structure that would really cater to the people in our communities. It's a prototype in life-changing architecture that will serve as a catalyst to a transformed, more developed, and more meaningful living, not just in Dumaguete, but in the whole Filipino nation. It's time to make a difference and prove to ourselves that we care for our environment. Support Estudio Damgo 3. Together, we will build the dreams for a better, brighter, and sustainable future.